Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Thoughts with V. I am Dr. Vani, and today we are still in Psalms 119. The specific verse that we are looking at is verse 70, which says, "Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in your law." And so, my first question when I was trying to understand this is like, okay, so what does fat as grease mean? Like, what does fat mean? And so I went looking through other scripture, and one Psalms. Okay, Psalm 17, verse 10 says, "They have closed up their fat hearts; with their mouths they speak proudly." Isaiah 6:10 says, "Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed." And so it is clear that having a fat heart is not a good thing. And so some other translations also use the words dull, callous, and insensitive. And so what one image that came to mind when I was meditating on this scripture is after we cook like bacon or hamburgers, or any type of meat really where we don't need to add oil, or even if we add oil, and we set the pot to the side so that it can cool down before we get rid of it, that nasty, thick, greasy, oily feeling is the image that comes to mind. And so that's gross. That is gross. And so when our hearts are fat as grease, that's gross. And it's not pleasing to God at all. And so what makes our hearts fat? So some things in Psalms that we were looking at, Psalm 119 verse 69 says, "The proud have forged a lie against me." Okay, and the second part of 70, verse 70 says, "But I delight in your law." Okay, and so things that make a heart fat as grease. In 69, it says proud and lie. So being arrogant and being a liar. And then in 70, David says again, "But I delight in your law." So not being joyous and satisfied in the law, in the Lord, can cause us to have a heart that is insensitive, that is dull, that's callous, that is gross. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is wild. Because if you think about it, what does it mean when we are not joyous or satisfied in the law, in the Lord, and in His law? That means that we are continuously complaining. We are not doing what His word says, which means we're following our own hearts. And we already know our heart is that's flesh. So doing what our heart says will not lead us anywhere near the Lord. And so the prompt that I have for you is, do you have a fat heart? And it does not mean that your whole heart, let's metaphor that your whole heart is fat. No. So what are some things that, all right, I know that when I think about this, I'm not really joyous or satisfied in the Lord. What am I being arrogant or proud about? What are some things that I do that I know that, all right, if I do that, that's going to continuously lead me away from God. So that's your prompt. Take some time to reflect on it. Again, be honest. There is no need to try and lie to yourself, because God already knows the truth. So when y'all are participating in these prompts, it's really just to help you come to terms with you, and to surrender those parts of yourselves to God that you still need to surrender to Him. Alrighty, so that is all that I have for you for this video. Thank you for joining me. And of course I ask that you like, subscribe, and share with whoever you know will need to hear this video. Thank you so much, and join me for the next video. Be blessed.